Do I owe my friends in the United Kingdom an apology? Do I owe the BBC an apology? Apparently so. Now, this is not an apology video. This is not a mea culpa video, but I want to read some comments on a video I posted yesterday. Now, my video was titled My Top 10 Desert Island Discs. People who watched it, if you actually watched the video and paid attention to what I explained what the BBC Desert Island Disc concept was starting around 1942 in the UK on BBC Radio. And it's there today, BBC 4, I believe, and it still exists. Now, yes, I am well aware of the premise on the BBC version are for the participants to choose 8 songs, plus a book, plus something to take with them, a personal, wonderful object, something that'll make life easier while you're on the island. Now, the whole premise of taking these songs with you on the island and not having electricity unless you're actually on Richard Branson's island is crazy anyway. So my take on it was based on my friend Chris's The Long Cut, who did about 10 to 12 to 13, 14, he says, albums. He picked albums. I went a little further, and as I said in that video yesterday, there is a link to that video, or at the end you can just click the thumbnail and go directly to it if you missed it. I said, this is sort of the American version. You know how Americans, good or bad, right or wrong, like to blow everything up and do everything bigger. Well, it's true. We do, apparently. Look, remember the whole Cadillac? Literally the Cadillac, the car. And you can go on and on from there. But I decided to pick CDs and CD box sets. And they all fit in my steamer trunk, actually my Uber box. Now, what if apparently if your boat capsizes or your boat ship, what do you want? I'm not even sure about that. I don't know if anyone said that, but I decided I grabbed my steamer trunk, my Uber box, literally as a flotation device and floated along. And I had all those CDs and that Jack Kerouac book in there, those box sets. That's what I took along with me en route. I didn't know I was going to crash, but let me just read some of these. And I do appreciate, the thing is, I actually appreciate the comments, and I don't know if I'm going to actually respond to every comment here. So maybe if you commented, if you allow me to have this be the response for you, especially you, that one. Okay. It's actually supposed to be 8 tracks only. The island is just with a book, Bible, a luxury item, and 8 songs. Well, I missed the Bible part. I'm leaving that at home. This is from Richard GM99. This makes the choices more profound, considered, and need to explain why you made the choices you did. Finally, you were asked if you could take just one, which and why. Now, I understand that's the premise. I have heard BBC, this show before. I've listened to many of them. In fact, going back to 1978, my first trip to Britain, to the United Kingdom, is when I first heard it on my friend's radio. So I have heard it before. I understand that was that premise, but obviously, as I said in my video, I'm doing my spin on it. I'm twisting this thing around. Entertainment purposes only is what this is about. Now, I have done videos with just 10 songs and 10 albums. I've done plenty of top 10 videos. 10, I know, not 8, but 10 of tracks. In fact, I just did a song of just 10 songs, epic songs. I've done things on 10 albums. So I've done that before. This was something different based on that. But maybe I didn't realize the BBC has a copyright or a trademark on the 10 Desert Island discs. Now, as Chris the Long Cut points out, that Tower Records magazine Pulse in the 90s and 2000s, 80s, 90s, 2000s had a section, and people would write in with their 10 desert island discs. So Tower Records used the concept, as well as someone pointed out, Greil Marcus has a radio show, I guess, or a podcast with his version. Now, Brent Cunliffe, who's a regular, 745, I appreciate Brent comments a lot, and I thank you. For those who haven't heard, the UK show, guests actually choose their 8 favorite tracks, not, all caps, albums. This is then whittled down to just one choice from the 8. How hard is that? It's not hard at all. That's not what I did. But thank you. I appreciate it. Great choices. Put a smile on my face. Thank you, Ron Feastra, 3659. Why don't people have the numbers on the ends of their handles? That's a curiosity too. Okay, just a curiosity. I'm not complaining. I'm going to skip some of these. Paul Johnson, 5925, not to be confused with Paul Johnson, 5924, I mind you, or 23. It's been mentioned already, but it's 8 tracks, not box sets, albums, etc. I know it's the American version, but just for once, can't you go with quality instead of quantity? 8 tracks, 1 book, 1 luxury item. Go on, give it a go. P.S. You get to save just one of the 8 tracks. Which one is it? I'm taking Strawberry Fields Forever. That's the 1 track for this particular thing. Let me take you down because I'm taking that. That's my 1 track. But I have done these kind of videos. I just haven't called them Desert Island tracks. So, but again, I appreciate this. And this is actually not an apology, is it, to my friends in the United Kingdom. I'm very much of an Anglophile. But I mean, this is entertainment. I like my channel to be entertaining. Now, if this is not entertaining to you because to me also with rock and roll, now these weren't all rock and roll. Rock and roll is all about breaking the rules. I think music and art is all about breaking the rules. If you play by the rules, that ain't art, in my opinion. Okay. Got to be on your own, Mazzy. No sharing, only you survive. That is the premise. You can only have singles as well. Sorry to disappoint you. And that was from David Lee, 6720. Thank you, David Lee. Tom the Eagle 1 writes, box sets is actually cheating! Exclamation point. Now, this is a good one from Bert Becker, 7532. Excellent choice. You forgot to tell us one more preference, Ginger or Marianne. I'll leave that to your imagination. All right. Okay, I'm skipping some. What, no Eric Clapton? Okay. Thank you, Jilly. Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go. Argiev, is that right? Argiev. From Radio Times website, the first music played was Chopin's Etude in C minor. Yesterday is the most requested Beatle track, and Wider Shade of Pale was one of the discs chosen by Diana Mosley or Diana Milford. So she was a Nazi sympathizer, but she had okay taste in songs. Skip a Line, Fantango, doing cartwheels on the floor. All right, Robert Goff, 5804, says, hey! We didn't say hey, he didn't yell, he didn't do all caps. He said, hey, it's 8 tracks, not a whole collection. You Yanks, you Yanks sure exaggerated. Okay. I'm not going to read everybody because it's Okay, let's see. A lot of good chuckles from this video, Mazzy. An extra point for mentioning the hallmark of American high culture, Gilligan's Island. That was from Mike, 5582. Now that I get because there are like literally 67,000 mics that comment and follow my channel. So thank you, Mike, 5582. Oh my, this is Miles 7522. Oh my, I would have to think about 10 albums I would take. Please don't wait, as the exercise might take me some time. Okay, we won't wait for you, Miles. Miles 7522. Okay, Tick Lord 66. I know it's your channel, yada yada. He actually says yada yada. But what's with the box set? Sort of missing the whole point. The whole thing, excuse me. I switched that up there. Thank you, Tiki Lord. I bow down to you, Tiki Lord. Would you be on the island, Tiki Lord? Okay. Okay. Cata Hillbilly, no number, but Cata Hillbilly writes, great video, but I think the BBC would only allow you 8 songs. No LPs or box sets. The BBC is not telling me what to do. They're not my guardian angel. There's no rules. Now, having said that, and I don't want to disparage anyone in the United Kingdom, I love the people of the United Kingdom, and I've been there many times, or a number of times, all over. Also Scotland and Ireland, and so I love the people of England and that area, those wonderful islands and areas. I won't get into all that, but this is a personal expression, artistic expression of my love for music. And if I think that I might be stuck, and if I'm going on a ship that, I've seen Titanic, I've seen these Lost, what a shit show that was at the end, right? That TV show. I've seen these things. I loaded up my Uber box. I went prepared, because music, aside from food and, socializing, music is the most important thing in my life. And so I want to be prepared. Now, if the BBC all of a sudden said, hey, Mazzy, why don't you be on your show? Be on the BBC4 show of Desert Island Discs, I would abide by their rules. But this is not that. This is Mazzy's music. This is my top 10 Desert Island discs. Now, those boxes that have literally discs in them, we don't really call vinyl discs, do we? Yeah, I mean, you could call it a disc, and it's an album, but a CD is an album as well. Album is actually going back to the 78 RPMs with the folios. Those were called albums. 10-inch things, those were called albums. That's where the name album came from, and it's stuck. So it can be a CD or vinyl or any of the formats, in my opinion. This is where I heard about Greil Marcus. SHUD 8WD says, Greil Marcus Stranded and the follow-up Maroon show, Where It's At Man. Now, I don't know, does he have the same rules? I vaguely remember that, but I don't remember the rules of Greil Marcus. But I do like his writing. He's like the cerebral rock critic of, the Dylan, the band, and all that stuff. Almost sometimes too cerebral for rock and roll, but a great writer. Okay, CDs will probably rig up some sort of solar-powered system to run the espresso machine. That's from Duncan IETH 9172. I'll just read a couple more. The long cut says, this is a long cut who started this that I responded to. He said he actually chose 14, not 10. Okay? So he picked 14. So he broke the rules before I broke the rules. So Chris, it's all on you. I think the Brits hate you too, Chris. Just kidding. Do I have to say just kidding? Do I have to say in my humble opinion? It's my channel. I like to be creative occasionally. I like to go out of the box. That's where the fun is. And Mama says, don't look into the bright of the sun. But that's Mama. That's where the fun is. I'm paraphrasing, quoting Bruce Springsteen there. Okay, and one more. Papa Bear 1417. A lot of Papa Bears, I guess. Hi, Mazzy. You missed the concept, but took the general idea. You're on a ship which is sinking, and can only save 6 records. Good episode, though. Now, 6 records. Someone else says 8. So is it 6 records, a book? Now, that espresso machine is a lot harder for me to take that I pointed out to my espresso machine as a luxury item than this UberBox. The UberBox floats. I can hang out on it. It's a flotation device. So anyway, that's it. My apologies to my friends in the United Kingdom, even the Americans who wanted to tell me that I broke the rules here and I don't understand the concept of desert island discs. So I just want to respond in this way. I know a lot of people will say, Mazzy, you don't have to apologize. Just do what you do. We like what you do. Some people don't like what I do. But a lot of people seem to. You're coming back here, and I appreciate that. But I like to have fun, and I like to enjoy music. And to make a video, I'm bringing my UberBox with me on that ship, on that tour. I don't even know why I'd be on a ship near an island, but that's the way I decided to do it, and I'm sticking to it. Now, again, if anyone has any connections with BBC4, send me an invite. I will play by the rules, and I can't wait for that. So Mazzy loves you. Take care, everyone.